Welcome back to the 2019 PFL Championship. Season 1 Featherweight Champion Lance "The Party" Palmer making his way to the cage. Stops to kiss his beautiful wife Jessie, say hello to Dad Dwayne. And he will be looking to go back-to-back for another $1 million. The number 1 seed Palmer, the number 4 seed Alex Gilpin. There's our cage muscle tail of the tape. Slight arm reach advantage for Gilpin, slight leg reach advantage for Lance Palmer. Randy, we've seen this fight twice before, and the real battle is in the wrestling.
Absolutely, both guys have strong wrestling pedigrees. Alex Gilpin from Wisconsin, Ohio State 4-time American, and Lance Palmer. It doesn't get much better than that. And both these guys like to use that wrestling in their fighting style. That's what makes this matchup really interesting.
Lillian Garcia starts another title bout inside the PFL Smart Cage.
Fight fans, we continue the action with the Featherweight Championship. This is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a wrestler, standing at 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighs in officially at 144 pounds. In 17 professional bouts, he has a record of 14 victories and 3 defeats with 11 wins by stoppage. He is the number 4 seed, fighting out of Madison, Wisconsin. Here is Alex Gilpin! His opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He is also a wrestler, standing at 5'6", weighing in officially 145 pounds. In 24 professional bouts, he has a record of 21 victories and 3 defeats. He is the number 1 seed and is looking to win back-to-back PFL Featherweight titles. Fighting out of Columbus, Ohio, here is Lance "The Party" Palmer! Your referee in charge, Keith Peterson.
Keith Peterson, third man in the cage for our featherweight title bout. Alex Gilpin in the silver trunks. Lance Palmer, the season 1 featherweight champ, in the green. Important to note, Alex Gilpin, a replacement fighter in tonight's championship because Daniel Pineda, who earned a date with Lance Palmer, failed a drug test. Gilpin, the highest seed who had been eliminated from the playoffs, steps back in for a trilogy bout. And as he said pre-fight, it's the quickest trilogy in the history.
Absolutely.
3 fights in 1 year for Alex Gilpin and Lance Palmer.
Gilpin coming off of a submission chokeout win over Andre Harrison, who's somebody who Lance Palmer has a storied history with as well.
Gilpin, the only person ever to finish Dre the Bull. So we've seen this one twice before, Randy. What do we expect in the third stanza?
Well, it'll be interesting. I think the onus is always on the guy that won the other fight, especially twice. To what's going to change? What is Gilpin going to do different to get a different outcome this time? And that's what Lance has got to try to figure out. We know what Lance does and does well, and Lance is very acutely aware of Gilpin's strength. He's got some amazing submissions, some very, very good slick neck chokes. It's going to be interesting to see if Lance stays out of all of that. We've seen Lance improve his striking with this new camp with guys like Frankie Edgar, and we saw that in the last time they fought. Lance caught him with a straight right hand and put him on his butt, and that was arguably the biggest difference in the fight.
Palmer attempts a left hand there. It has been Gilpin the aggressor in the striking exchanges here, taking the center of the cage, working his jab. There are a lot of people around the sport that think Gilpin, he's the second best 145-pounder on our PFL roster, maybe. He's a guy that has really only lost meaningful fights in his career to Lance Palmer. He's here tonight to prove otherwise, that he's actually better than Lance Palmer.
A little eye poke, incidental eye poke. This is one of the things that happens in MMA because we don't have thumb loops and closed gloves. Occasionally, you catch an eye poke. Lance will be given the time to recover, make sure he can see straight. There's no issues there. He'll be checked by the doctor.
Yeah, Keith Peterson will call the doctor in, gives a quick little warning there to Alex Gilpin. Inadvertent eye poke, as you said, Randy, it happens sometime. It's take a look at the replay here. Yeah, just calling out, the ring finger goes in to the eye of Lance Palmer. Up to 5 minutes for Lance Palmer to recover here. The big key, the doctor always comes in a situation like this, make sure that it's safe for Lance Palmer to continue.
And you see Gilpin extends his hand to push Lance away, and one of the fingers goes right in the left eye of Lance Palmer. Absolutely inadvertent.
See the attempted high kick there. Gilpin blocks, and then he ducks under the return left hand from Lance Palmer. Palmer says he is good to go. 3 minutes, 11 seconds remaining here in round number 1 of a featherweight championship. Another high kick attempt there from Gilpin. Gets right back to it.
Big double leg.
Lance Palmer puts his wrestling pedigree on display once again. And he passes immediately to side control on Alex Gilpin.
There's that overpowering strength and smothering ability of Lance Palmer from those wrestling days.
Well, we've seen a couple of times in Lance Palmer fights that he settles into this competitive rhythm that is frustrating for his opponents. And every once in a while, someone will, I don't know, poke him in the eye or land a good shot, and you get a fierier Lance Palmer. Now Alex Gilpin working to a choke here.
Into a choke position, working a north-south. He's managed to work his way out from underneath Lance Palmer. Got a north-south choke.
You see the space there on the right side of Lance Palmer's face. Gilpin's gonna try and force Palmer's own deltoid against that side of his neck, but instead he'll use it to transition to the top. Nice sweep there, and probably the most trouble we've seen Lance Palmer in his last 10 fights in the Professional Fighters League.
Absolutely true. Gilpin got caught on one leg in the middle of that kick, and Palmer followed through with a double and started this entire sequence.
And there's the wrestling again. What a scramble by Lance Palmer. You see him get the underhook and shrug Alex Gilpin, not just up, but all the way off.
Like bench pressed him off. He's so strong.
Palmer walks around about 160-ish pounds, cuts to 145. Very professional. He's got a system down. He's probably stronger than most 200-plus pound men that you know if you're watching tonight. There's Lance Palmer's corner.
There it is. Now sprint past it. Nice. Good uppercut. Keep your hand up. Now give us a little bounce. There you go.
Add on. We got to add on.
Two body.
Gilpin really pressing, coming forward, keeping Palmer at the fence and really staying in Palmer's face. We have seen very few people do that with Lance Palmer.
A flying knee attempt, and then Gilpin tries to grab a guillotine. He doesn't have control of Palmer's hips, so he will not be able to finish this, but we have seen him spin around and turn around on those chokes from underneath. Very crafty with his control in these grappling exchanges is Alex Gilpin, but negated here once again by the dominant wrestling of Lance Palmer, who rains down left hands from the top.
Palmer got that far side underhook, securing a good cross-side position, trying to find a way to free up that left hand to jackhammer on Alex Gilpin. Gilpin swimming under with his right hand, trying to create that scramble again, moving to north-south.
Palmer will finish round 1 on top here as Gilpin tries to fight his way up.
Interesting round. Interesting to see how the judges score that.
Brand new movie, Bad Boys for Life, starring Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, in theaters January 17th. Round 2 underway here. Second title bout of the evening's featherweights. Lance Palmer in green shorts, Alex Gilpin in the silver. And a really interesting first round between these two, Randy. I'm not sure that that last takedown of Lance Palmer didn't secure the round for him, but he came close to losing the first round of his season.
Absolutely, and it's really interesting to see how the judges score that first round. We see Gilpin pressing the action, throwing the kicks, throwing more punches. Palmer with the 2 takedowns, one of those scrambled into a situation for Palmer. And Gilpin now right back out in his face, nose to nose, trying to press the action. Palmer answering with some nice counter punches.
Gilpin catches a kick. Palmer with a back fist bouncing off the cage. Gets down on a double leg attempt here. Lance Palmer once again. Finishes it and right into side control. Gilpin hanging heavy on the neck of Lance Palmer.
Palmer did a nice job of changing angles, flaring those legs out and coming right down in side control.
See there, the pedigree, the wrestling pedigree of Alex Gilpin is impressive. Texas State wrestling champion, wrestled in college at the University of Wisconsin, but nothing compared to Lance Palmer, who was a 4-time All-American at Ohio State. Great job there by Alex Gilpin scrambling up. Palmer just misses with a knee attempt on the break. Randy, you hear all the time guys talking about, I'm in the best shape of my life, I can go 5 rounds. Gilpin said, I'd like to go 10 rounds. You know, when I hear it from other people, I don't always believe it. When I heard it from these 2 guys, I did believe it. We've seen motors and cardio for days from both of these individuals.
Absolutely, gas tank for days. Both these guys can go forever at a high pace. Not a lot of people on the planet can do that.
Part of that skill honed in wrestling rooms. Once again, a successful takedown attempt from Lance Palmer.
He's trying to cinch it up. He's got a choke on. Palmer knows every time he shoots, he exposes his neck. He's got to be really, really careful here. Gilpin is as slick as they come in that position.
We saw him finish Andre Harrison with a ninja choke pressed up against the cage, choked Dre the Bull all the way out. Lance Palmer pulls his head out, goes right to work inside of the guard of Alex Gilpin. Halfway gone in the second round here. Second of 5 potential featherweight championship rounds. Lance Palmer in the green trunks looking to go back-to-back. He is our season 1 featherweight champ. He wants another title and another $1 million.
Ground and pound from the guard here by Palmer. Gilpin trying to use his legs, create space, create a scramble, and he hopes he can find a way to wrestle his way back to his feet.
Palmer gets the hips in against the cage there. Heavy, heavy pressure as always from the former Ohio State All-American. Still to come, the lightweight championship, 155 pounds, sees the similar scenario. Natan Schultz, our #1 seed in the lightweight division, also looking to repeat. Will Lance Palmer be the first to do it tonight? Smothering pressure against Alex Gilpin on the cage here.
Up kicks by Alex Gilpin, trying to use those feet, create some space, and be able to change levels and come under Palmer and find a way to scramble out. Palmer doing a great job of just pressuring with those hips, keeping his head up and out of the way of those nasty heel kicks. Now Gilpin back to his feet.
Nice knees and some double underhooks here for Gilpin. And it's always interesting to see what the choice is to reach for underhooks against the cage. Gilpin likes to hang heavy on the neck. Does he try and set up a choke here? Lance Palmer doesn't let him get to work though.
Gilpin's always fishing for those chokes. That's his favorite go-to thing. Palmer doing a nice job of staying inside, keeping his head up, using that forehead to control that head of Gilpin. It's tough to see what a guy's doing when you got your forehead in his cheek.
Nice knees to the body there from Gilpin, earns a separation. And he follows it up with a jab, but once again, Lance Palmer down on the legs. Gilpin unable to secure a choke attempt this time. Inside of 30 seconds left in round #2.
Palmer, like a rat on a Cheeto, just comes right back in on that double. He is not going to let Gilpin off the hook here.
Well, every time Alex Gilpin gets overly aggressive in his striking and starts to charge forward, you can guarantee that Lance Palmer will change levels and shoot under. That's how they ended up on the ground here. Round 3 next. Welcome back to the 2019 PFL Championship. Sean O'Connell and Randy Couture cage side. Inside the cage, a featherweight title bout in the 3rd round. Lance Palmer looking to repeat in the green trunks. Alex Gilpin in the silver. During the break, Randy, we heard the corner of Lance Palmer saying they feel like Alex Gilpin is getting tired. Lance Palmer constantly just grinding away with the takedowns, and a big lead hook there as Gilpin tried to close the distance.
Gilpin's pressing and he's moving into that range of exchanges, but he's not really throwing anything in that range, and that's allowing Lance to get off first.
Gilpin had a lot of bounce in his step in rounds 1 and 2, slightly less here at the start of round number 3.
There's a double by Gilpin.
Takedown attempt.
Wow, big dump. Crotch lift dump by Palmer to get out of the situation.
There's the two-time Olympic judo gold medalist, Kayla Harrison. She will be contesting our final title fight of the evening later on ESPN2. Well, a valiant effort there by Alex Gilpin, but for every question he's got, Lance Palmer's got an answer in these grappling extremes.
It seems that way, for sure.
Double butterflies and double underhooks here for Alex Gilpin to try and elevate the body of Lance Palmer. Gilpin attempts to kick off. Palmer almost passes the legs. Great recovery there by Alex Gilpin, but he's right back where he started. Randy, how do you make the decision when you're Lance Palmer on whether to work from the guard like this or to pass aggressively and try and pound out Alex Gilpin?
Well, I mean, every time he tries to pass, and here you see him trying to pass across side or maybe half guard again, Gilpin keeps pulling for guard. He's not really letting Lance pass. So, you know, it's not a bad place. It's hard to do a lot of damage from the guard. I think you're more effective, in my opinion, from the half guard than the guard. But, you know, Palmer's taking what he can get right now. He's being tenacious and controlling where this fight happens.
Hard to get a finish from the guard, but you're winning a lot of times in the guard. Gilpin attempts to push off again. Palmer relentless with the pressure. Forcing Gilpin up here against the cage one more time. Take a look through our ref cam presented by our friends at Manscaped. Keith Peterson, attentive on top of the action there.
We all need a good manscaping on occasion.
It's necessary. Palmer looks to pass to the back here of Alex Gilpin and gets all the way at least to side control. Gilpin does a good job of lacing his leg back inside, but now Lance Palmer to the mount up against the cage. 90 seconds left here in round number 3. Alex Gilpin not in a great position here. Lance Palmer mounted on top of the Wisconsin wrestler.
Nice elbow escape by Gilpin. Back to the butterfly guard. Seeing 75% of this fight is taking place on the outside of the cage, and about 3 or 4 feet on the outside of the cage.
And the story that's really telling is that Lance Palmer is forcing and grinding this action on the outside with with Alex Gilpin's head up against that turn post right there, grating the back of his neck up and down the cage. It's a rough position to be in against a guy with heavy pressure like Lance Palmer.
Absolute textbook Lance Palmer fighting style.
45 seconds remain here in the 3rd round. Remember, these are title bouts, so they are possibly as many as 5 rounds, 5-minute rounds long.
We're winding down in the 3-round territory, about to step into championship territory.
Gilpin told us, I want a 4-round fight. I want a 5-round fight. Give me a 10-round fight.
If I have a bad round, I can come back from that. It's not a 3-rounder where it's tougher to come back from giving up a round.
He also told us it's hard to hold somebody down for 5 rounds. I have a feeling Lance Palmer's going to test out that theory. We'll find out when we come back. Entering the 4th round of our featherweight title bout between Lance "the Party" Palmer and Alex Gilpin. Palmer in the green trunks, Gilpin in the silver. Gilpin says he wants to go deep. Well, these are the deep championship rounds. Palmer with another successful takedown. Once again, Gilpin begins early in the round on his back. Tough place to be.
Gilpin just wades right into the range of exchange, and he's not throwing anything at Lance. And that's allowing Lance to counter punch first and then change levels and drive through Gilpin. He's got to step into that range exchange and throw something at him. Throw that straight right hand. Throw that jab, something. Make him think about something.
Lance Palmer just completed his 6th successful takedown. We saw a takedown attempt earlier from Alex Gilpin, but that was reversed with the big crotch lift by Lance Palmer. So the wrestling exchanges have been all Lance Palmer, which shouldn't be a surprise if you've been watching his dominant mixed martial arts career.
He's just smothering, and he does this so often. He's just so good at hovering over the top of somebody. No matter how hard they try to get away, he just keeps coming, relentless pressure. He's so strong, short levers. He does a great job from ground and pound to be damaging there. It's the dominant performance by Lance Palmer so far.
It's one of the reasons Lance Palmer was a 4-time All-American at Ohio State. If you shoot and reshoot and scramble and re-scramble, he's got one more move for you. He's got one more answer to every move that you've given him. And so far, it's been successful here in this featherweight championship. Lance Palmer looking to repeat. He was the season 1 featherweight champ. He's looking to go back-to-back. He wants another belt. He wants another $1 million. Alex Gilpin trying to figure out this puzzle and get off his back here. Gilpin works his back to the cage. Palmer does a good job of moving to side control here.
Gilpin pulling guard again, getting him back in between those legs. Gilpin's got to open that guard, though. That closed guard is not going to create a scramble. It's not going to get him out of anything than what he's getting right now, which is shots to the ribs and a couple shots to the dome.
The longer this fight goes, the more you have to ask the question. Alex Gilpin very, very crafty with his submissions, even from the bottom. But as they get slipperier, as he gets more tired, will he have the strength if a submission opportunity presents itself to finish against a guy like Lance Palmer?
Gilpin got the left underhook and started to come up and use the fence as his friend to get back up off that mat. Palmer secures the body lock and sucks his hips right back out from underneath him. That's disheartening. There's a psychological effect to that. You're almost there, you're gonna get up, and then you're right back down.
You saw Gilpin try and sit up on a Kimura attempt. A lot of times people will just end up using that as a sweep. Everything negated here by the smothering pressure of Lance the Party Palmer. Inside of 2 minutes left in the 4th round. Double butterflies here and double underhooks once again for Gilpin. We've seen this a couple of times in this fight, but unfortunately has not led to any significant scrambles or escapes by Gilpin.
It looks like Gilpin's trying to use that double underhooks and those feet on the hips to create tension, and then he releases and tries to kick Palmer away. And Palmer's just too tenacious. He comes right back too fast, too slippery, too strong with those hips. It's a tough place to spend an entire round in a fight.
Lance Palmer got the takedown for this control less than 10 seconds into round number 4.
And a lot of that was, again, Gilpin bringing the pressure, but not throwing anything at Lance and making him think about anything else.
30 seconds remain here in round number 4. Alex Gilpin running out of time to find an answer. Ten seconds left in round number 4. More ground and pound from Lance the Party Palmer, this time to the body of Alex Gilpin. There's the end of round 4. One final opportunity for Alex Gilpin. How about that? 6 belts being given away tonight. The first one went to that man, Emiliano Sordi. Light heavyweight from Argentina, completed a dominant run through this entire season. 6 finishes, 5 finishes. 5 finishes. I'll give him an extra 6. There's the takedown at the beginning of the round. And unfortunately for Gilpin, he never got up from there.
He just struggled here, tried to create a couple scrambles, tried to use his feet, but Palmer with the tenacious wrestling pressure just keeps coming forward, keeps countering, keeps putting him back on the mat and keeping him down there. I have this fight right now, 3 rounds to 1 for Palmer. I thought Gilpin snuck the first round out. And Palmer's, it's been all Palmer since then.
It'll be interesting to see how the judges saw that first round, but it may be academic because of the dominant performance over the last 3 by Lance Palmer. If Alex Gilpin can't make something happen here in round number 5, Lance Palmer will be looking at his 2nd straight PFL championship. 5 more minutes of featherweight action.
5th and final round. Again, Gilpin comes right out, pressuring Palmer.
Nice 1-2 there from Palmer to back Gilpin up. Inside leg kick from Palmer. Right hand from Gilpin. And
there's that jab. Like he was trying to leap into something there for a second. I'm not sure what that was.
Well, we saw him attempt a flying knee earlier, but that flying knee ended with him getting caught and
taken
dumped.
down, yeah.
Down 3 rounds to 1 or 4 rounds to 0, though, Randy. It's a delicate balance. You got to find some sort of desperation without getting too sloppy. And once again, Lance Palmer, takedown attempt, and he lands in side control.
He does such a nice job of turning the corner, flaring those legs out, passing that guard of his opponent as he's in transition to the mat. It's a very, very clever and very, very good thing to do.
7 takedowns now for Lance Palmer, and worth noting, in the early rounds, in the first round he had to get 2 takedowns because Gilpin was able to create scrambles, get back to his feet. In the second round, the same thing. In round 4, it was 1 takedown and then smothering pressure. And in round 5, right now Alex Gilpin isn't really making significant progress to get up. More work from the top for Lance the Party Palmer. Passes the legs. Once again inside control.
Offside positions by Palmer. Trying to find a way to free up that left hand. Bring it down on Gilpin's head. Gilpin's got to be careful he doesn't give up mount again here. He's got his legs pretty close together. Pretty sure Alex Gilpin has had enough of Lance Palmer this season.
Well, it's the tough thing.
3rd meeting, it's unheard of.
It's the tough thing about our regular season playoff and championship format. There's no favoritism. The matchups are what they are. The playoff matchups, it's a playoff bracket, and you get what you get. In the championship, an opportunity presented itself for Alex Gilpin because of a failed drug test by Daniel Pineda. He thought he would have an opportunity to come here, pull off an upset. Lance Palmer, though, as clinical and dominant as always so far, with 2 minutes remaining here in the Featherweight Championship as he looks to repeat. And look, it's great to be the #2 guy in any weight class in mixed martial arts, but when it's regular season playoffs and a $1 million championship, #2's
handshake and a bologna sandwich.
I assure you Alex Gilpin will take home more than a bologna sandwich, but you get the point. Seconds remain here as Lance Palmer looks to repeat as featherweight champion. No answer from Alex Gilpin, who, by the way, was able to finish his last 3 opponents not named Lance Palmer. Lance Palmer gave Alex Gilpin a lot of credit. They ended up on the same side of the bracket in the playoff, which means they met in the semifinals. But Lance did say, oh, he definitely would have made it to the championship had he been on the opposite side of the bracket.
I think that's a fairly accurate statement, and I also think that's an exhibition of how much these two respect each other. Now, obviously, they face each other, they're making each other better. They both said that in their interviews going into this fight. They both forced each other to learn things and do things that they wouldn't have otherwise done.
Lance Palmer 30 seconds away from history. The first man to repeat as PFL champion, potentially.
Palmer is on him like a barnacle, man. He just cannot scrape him off as hard as he tries. But both these guys are class acts. They're both great guys.
If you have never been in the position you've seen Alex Gilpin in the last 2-3 rounds, I promise you there are very few things on the planet that are more miserable than being really excellent at your craft, but being stuck underneath someone who's just a little bit better. Lance the Party Palmer. We'll find out if the judges thought that was enough for a repeat title when we come back. We'll take a look at our Cageonomics final fight stats for our featherweight bout. 43 ground strikes landed there for Lance Palmer. Actually, you saw a lot of those deflected by Alex Gilpin, but the number that really matters is down there at the bottom. 7 takedowns for Lance the Party Palmer, the 4-time Ohio State All-American wrestler. Here are the takedowns. Timing, explosiveness, power. Catches the flying knee attempt there by Alex Gilpin. Wraps him up, goes immediately, turns the corner to side control. Every single time, Lance Palmer grabs a hold of the legs, the waist, and immediately turns an angle. You saw Gilpin fighting for a neck here. Can't secure a significant choke attempt. This was the big elevation of the takedown attempt from Gilpin. Palmer able to reverse it. Secures the takedown for himself. Once again, ducks underneath some strikes from Gilpin. And that's the story. Lance the Party Palmer once again puts on a dominant wrestling display. And Lillian Garcia has the official decision inside of our PFL Smart Cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. And the totals are 50-43, 50-44, and 50-44. All for your winner by unanimous decision, your newest millionaire and the 2019 PFL Featherweight Champion of the World, Lance the Party Palmer!
Back-to-back titles.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, Pete Murray, the CEO of the Professional Fighters League, to present the $2 million check to Lance Palmer. Lance, you had a great game plan, tenacious wrestling. Was that the plan for this one?
It was actually more to strike, but to be honest, I came into this camp, with some injuries, some lingering things, and didn't get to perform near to how I wanted to, but I was able to do enough to get the job done against a guy who's super tough, and he's tough every time I fight him, and he gets tougher every time I fight him. So I really appreciate Alex Gilpin as an opponent because he's made me push the 3 times that we did fight this year.
Always a class act, ladies and gentlemen, the new champion, back-to-back, Lance Palmer.
2 featherweight belts, 2 season championships, and 2 $1 million checks for Lance the Party Palmer. Big hug for Mom there. His wife Jessie inside the cage. His new team standing behind him there is his dad.
$6 million belts on championship night. That's a lot of money.
Lance Palmer caps off another dominant season here in PFL Season 2.
Yeah. ready? Listen. What you wanna do? If you don't strike first, that's when they gon' come at you. Yeah. And you know it's true. Don't let your life get worse. Being timid, that ain't cool. Nah.